Hey everyone, Sean with the New Columbia Movement. Welcome back. In a previous video, I talked about the need for a real right wing and how a revitalization of traditional values needs to become the central pillar in a modern conservative movement. This comes on the heels of a rising awareness and acceptance of ideas like America First on the political right. This gives me hope, a lot of hope, that perhaps we're not lost after all. But as I said in that previous video, our modern world is marked by a period of hyperpolarization. And because of this, we can be tempted to retreat into our tribal elements. However, I'm here to say that's not necessarily what we should be doing, even though it can often be tempting. Today we're going to talk about why it's still important to have these conversations and, well, how to do it. How to red pill. Stay with us. So the reason it's still important to have these conversations is because you should care about the well-being of your friends, family, and your nation. If you're not in it with that mindset, then you're in it for the wrong reasons. And when I say conversation, I mean conversation, not some 2 a.m. political argument on a Reddit thread or some rant in a Facebook comment. That accomplishes nothing. You're never going to win that. You're just wasting your time. I promise you.
What's up? My name's XXX underscore wouldn't say it to your face 69 and I'm a keyboard warrior.
Big changes, political or otherwise, are often led by a vocal minority. The majority of people will follow strong leadership. That's important to keep in mind. See, it's often cited that the American Revolution was fought by only 3% of Americans, and whether or not that statistic is precisely true, it exemplifies the point we're trying to make. Think of it like this. Today, you are a thought leader in a thought revolution, but not a modern self-serving leader, a self-sacrificing leader, one who cares for the well-being of himself, his family, and the nation and the people around him. That's why it's critically important for you to stand up for what you believe in, and not to be bogged down by the accusations that are lobbed at you. There is an element of mass psychosis today. KGB defector Yuri Bezmenov talked about the effects of propaganda and how it can be used to steer public opinion.
If we take the whole time, money, and manpower that the Soviet Union and KGB in particular spends outside of USSR border, we will discover, of course there are no official statistics unlike with CIA or FBI, that the espionage as such occupies only 10 to 15% of money, time, and manpower. 15% of the activity of KGB. The rest, 85%, is always subversion. And unlike a dictionary of English, Oxford Dictionary, subversion in Soviet terminology means always a destructive, aggressive activity aimed to destroy the country, nation, or geographical area of your enemy.
Most people will just go along with what they perceive to be the dominant and prevailing narrative. Sometimes just presenting people with a rational counter-argument can be enough to, in a sense, break that programming and get them to think rationally about things that they might have not thought about before. There are plenty of people out there like this. Not everybody is unwilling to see things from a different light. Also know that Rome wasn't built in a day. All of us have had our own journeys to where we are right now, so keep in mind that sometimes you have to meet people where they're at. This brings us to our next often overlooked element when it comes to red pilling. I call them our no subtlety Sams. Yes, these are the types of guys that think they can just spring forward from the woodwork and drop a couple base truth bombs on some unsuspecting normie, suddenly seeing them jump from point A to point Z and bring all this fulfilling clarity to their lives without a second thought. Well, it never really goes over that way. In fact, it just makes you look completely out of touch and, well, dumb.
Scanning, control, manipulate scientific data, take over, blast, control, world government, shut down infrastructure, ship everything to China. Just look at this person.
The necessity of this subtlety isn't because you're trying to deceive anybody of anything. It's just a basic element in conversating with others and exploring ideas and sharing opinions. A lot of you guys out there prefer just to commiserate amongst yourselves on the corners of the internet, never exploring any counter ideas or counter narratives to the points that you express. And, well, that's not very productive. and you're never going to convince anybody of anything when you do that. Half the battle is beyond the realm of dialogue. You need to be the type of individual that others would want to emulate. Are you intelligent? Are you fit? Do you try to embody the virtues that you espouse? We're all a work in progress and we're constantly seeking our own self-improvement. But if you're not capable of being a leader, why should anybody want to follow you? Just spitting ideas out for people to consume is not going to mean much if you're not practicing what you preach. You have to go out of your way to live up to the standards that you've set for yourself and for the society. It's part of that sacrificial element that comes with being a leader in a thought revolution. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, maintain your humility throughout all of this. You're never going to be the smartest person in the room, so don't assume you are. It's almost like all of this can just be summed up by saying, be a good Christian. That's how you're going to win over those you're trying to appeal to. So go out there, be courageous, and stand up for what you know to be true. Stand up for what you believe in. And do it the right way. And go drop a couple red pills. God bless.